But we are still experiencing severe storms, so I'm going to send it over now to meteorologist Alexa Minton.
Yeah, that thunderstorm cell we were talking about for our area is definitely already packing a punch. You guys can see it's slowly moving out and into our region. It's the severe thunderstorm cell that we want to focus on that has now spurred a tornado warning for our skies. This is going to last for a little bit, folks. We are currently seeing it lasting until 7:15. That's for Boyle, Marion, Mercer, and Washington counties. It's going to last just south of Harrodsburg area into the Danville metro area. This is the same severe thunderstorm cell that's spurred 2 tornado warnings already for our skies. It's got a little bit of spin on it. It's a very low end concern, but hey, we still issue those warnings and those alerts when we're talking about any sort of concern for a system like this one. Now, this thunderstorm cell, like I said, has a little bit of spin on it in our region. Main focus for our skies is going to be those strong, quick moving thunderstorm cells. Let's take a look at what it's looking like on the inside of that system. This is exactly why it's issued a tornado warning for our skies. So this is our wind velocity, which kind of gives us a little bit of a hint to understanding the rotation for that system. So as it's slowly moving into our friends in Boyle and Mercer counties, it's still a little bit offset right now. You can see the area where you see a little bit of green and a little bit of red, that's indicating some rotation around the radar. So when we see things like this, that's why a warning gets issued. And that's why this small thunderstorm cell has already spurred a warning for our area. Now, the National Weather Service did not say that there was an active hail threat with this system, but still, when you see that rotation on a system like that, you want to make sure you're doing things to seek shelter. If you're in anywhere near Harrodsburg, parts of the Danville area, as well as our friends, just Boyle and Mercer County in general, let's focus on. That's where we're really talking about some of that active storm moving in. You can see it's losing a little bit of steam as we track it into our region. Little bit of a hail core trying to pop up north of that system. Again, the National Weather Service didn't say that there was any active hail core threats in that system right now, but hey, we still want to make sure we're keeping our eye on it for our skies. Folks, if you are in anywhere, I'm talking parts of Boyle and Mercer counties, looks like there's some pea-sized hail right now, mainly Perryville, Kentucky and Nevada, Kentucky, until 7:15 a.m. is our main focus for the system. I'm going to go a little bit farther outside of that warning box to show you where it's trending for our friends, maybe around Jessamine County area. You can see it's moving pretty quickly right now. But again, this warning's going to last until 7:15. Right now we have it trending. This thunderstorm cell right here is moving into Perryville here within the next minute or so. There's a radar indicated rotation. So if you have a place to go low lying on the ground, center of your home, away from windows, we know the drill. We've just dealt with severe weather for parts of last week. Make sure you find a bathtub or an interior room in the basement if you can. In both Mercer and Boyle counties, these are where we really want to focus on as this storm continues to move into our region. Now, our friends in Bergen, I know that they usually get a lot of high water concerns. With all this rainfall, they probably are already starting to see some flooding in the area. Folks, also seek shelter if you can. Bergen, it's going to reach y'all at 7:06. Wilmore around 7:15. Nicholasville area around 7:20. This is our current expected time right now. This system's moving a little slower as it slowly starts to push into our area. This is definitely an active weather day for our region. Again, if you're just joining us now, we've got a tornado warning showing up south in the Fayette County metro area. It is officially affecting our friends Mercer and Boyle County, but it starts a little farther west out of our official, I guess, region of concern. You can see it stretches into Marion and Washington counties. That's where that storm system is right now. Again, it's going to last until 7:15 for our storm as it shows up across the state. This is the same one that's been spurring a couple other tornado warnings for our day today. I mean, it started over in western Kentucky. I'm going to take a little bit of a broader look at our radar if we can. We're noticing that it's moving relatively quickly across the state, but it's a slow moving cell in the system. We're still seeing some thunder and lightning all across our region. Our friends in the Madison County area, especially if we're getting kind of close towards the Berea region, this same thunderstorm cell also has a special weather statement attached with it. We're talking about a hail core associated with this system. Now, Garrett County, y'all need to be ready next because it looks like it's moving a little bit more at a horizontal trend for that storm cell that spurred the severe thunderstorm and the tornado warnings, both again lasting until 7:15 a.m. It's moving closer and closer towards the Danville metro area. Main concern is Perryville, Kentucky. It's over you right now. We're talking about some radar indication of rotation in our skies. So if you're in Garrett County, parts of southern Jessamine County, that's where you would want to make sure you seek shelter right now. interior rooms, bathtubs, far in the basement as you can, anywhere far away from windows, so that way you guys can stay safe if some damaging winds do show up in your skies. I'm going to zoom back in. It looks like they're slowly starting to expand the back edge of the system a little bit closer towards our friends in Harrodsburg. So I'm going to go in nice and super tight for that system. You can see, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they try to extend that box a little bit farther north into the Harrodsburg area. Right now, we're mainly talking towards Perryville. It's getting ready to move right near you for that rotation. Harrodsburg area, we're also seeing some rounds of active rain rumbling into your skies. I'm going to use our wind velocity, which gives us a better indication of that rotation. And that's what we're seeing right now. You can see this tornado warning, again, lasting till 7:15 a.m. We're talking parts of Marion, Washington counties, just the tail edge, now trending into both Mercer and Boyle counties. This system's moving right along the line. So Dixieville, Perryville, now's your time to seek shelter. Go to an interior room. Find a bathtub, find some way to protect your head. And if you do have a basement, go down to the basement. I know a lot of folks in Mercer County don't necessarily have basements due to flooding concerns, but try to go to an interior room for this system. It's a radar indicated rotation. That's why that tornado warning's been issued. So on our wind velocity map, basically what this tells us is that there's some rotation happening around the radar of the system. The green you see right next to the red means something is spinning. They indicate two directions of the wind. So something's spinning in our skies around this system. And we've already seen quite a few tornado warnings spur from this single cell storm. We've got heavy rain across the state. Again, this system is the one that's been spurring tornado warnings slowly but surely as it trends deeper and deeper into our area. We're talking Marion, Washington, Mercer, and Boyle counties. You'll notice that yellow box around it. That's a severe thunderstorm warning that's stretching in. So if you're in Dixieville and parts of Perryville right now, we want you guys to seek shelter. There's radar indicated rotation for a tornado warning. That's going to last till 7:15 a.m. this morning. Right now, we're also seeing some of that activity get a little closer towards our friends in the Danville metro area. That tornado warning box, you guys can see it's just extending ever so slightly into the Danville metro area and just in the southern parts of Harrodsburg. So it's really on the edge of that system. Make sure you guys are seeking shelter. I'm going to go ahead and play our radar again so that way we can see how this storm system's moving and maybe zoom out a little bit so we can see where it's currently at. I'm also definitely worried about our friends in parts of Madison County, Estill County area, Jackson County. Y'all are still seeing some activity rumble through your skies. That thunderstorm cell that you're seeing pop up just north of the Berea area, getting ready to head into Estill County, like Irvin region, that also spurred a special weather statement. Lots of lightning is loaded into that system. Pea-sized hail reports for our friends in South Madison County. So you got to watch out for this thunderstorm cell as well. But our main focus, of course, is for our friends in Mercer and Boyle counties. If you're in Garrett County, might want to go ahead and stay where you are. I know a lot of people, this is right in the middle of rush hour. You're headed out the door on your morning commute. This is not the time to be going out the door on those roadways. Again, this tornado warning is expected to last until 7:15 a.m. So if you are trying to head anywhere, really from maybe Harrodsburg down to Danville, go ahead, pull to the side of the road, go into a building. This might be a good time to stop and get some coffee, find someplace indoors to seek shelter. Heavy rain is already tough to drive through. We don't want to drive through radar indicated rotation as well as it trends deeper into the state. Again, there's a lot of heavy rain all throughout our region. You can see there's two separate warnings that we're talking about with this system as it moves into our skies. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning and then a tornado warning. I'm going to click on both so we can see how they're both affected. Again, that tornado warning is just touching into our friends in parts of the Harrodsburg and the Danville areas. 7:15 a.m. for both warnings that are affected. You can see it's all with that same thunderstorm cell that's been causing us a lot of problems all throughout our morning. It started over really kind of south of Elizabethtown area, and now it's just trending into the region. The main concern with this system as it rotates in, guys, is it's already an active thunderstorm cell. The reason we've got the tornado warning with it is because of the radar indicated rotation. So I'm going to pull up our wind velocity so we can see it a little bit better across the state. What you guys are going to notice, the whole region, we've got this warning showing up even in the first place is, again, that radar indicated rotation. So when we see two different colors lining up across the board, we've got green showing up right here in the edge of Mercer County, a little bit of red as we trend down in towards Boyle County. That's when you're talking about the rotation for the system. It's rotating around the radar, and that's what causes that tornado warning to be spurred. Again, both warnings, severe thunderstorm and tornado warning, lasting till 7:15. If you are in Mercer or Boyle counties, I'm going to throw Garrett County into the mix. Just parts of northern Garrett County, really. Go ahead and seek shelter, folks. We're talking interior room, find a bathroom. Bathtubs are great places to seek shelter. If you don't have a basement, I know a lot of folks, talking to my friends in Bergen, I know y'all don't have basements due to flooding concerns. Harrodsburg area, this is an area that's very flood prone. Saw a lot of activity once we were talking about floods in both February and April. So it's not necessarily the easiest for y'all to go down to a basement and seek shelter. If you can, the interior room is the key part. We're talking about flying debris. That's the main concern with this system. I mean, what we're talking about right now is a little bit of rotation on the system, strong winds showing up across our skies. I'm going to zoom in as far as we can for this thunderstorm cell. I'm thinking our friends in Perryville, Danville, it looks like it's tracking just a little bit farther north for you. Harrodsburg, Bergen, that would be the area that I would say we have just a bit of concern showing up for our skies in that region. Again, this is already a thunderstorm cell that's caused some problems. You can see that rotation still very faintly present. It's right over Dixville right now. Harrodsburg, y'all are next. Go ahead and seek shelter, interior room, find a low-lying area. Go cover your head in any way you can. We want to take these tornado warnings seriously, especially in light of the tornado we saw last week. Now, this one's radar indicated. There has been no verbal or visual report of a funnel cloud in our region. Doesn't mean we're not going to take it any less serious in our sky. It's that radar indication that we want to focus on for this storm cell as it moves across our skies. It's right now in Mercer and Boyle County. That's our main focus. There's a little bit of radar indicated rotation, which is why we've got that tornado warning, why I'm joining y'all this morning as we talk about this system moving through our region. If you are anywhere along parts of the Mercer or Boyle County lines, this might be a great excuse to go ahead, pull to the side of the road, maybe stop for a moment. You don't want to be driving in heavy rain, let alone a storm system like this. And I would say a tornado warning is definitely an excuse to go ahead and slow things down and seek some shelter. Now, I'm going to do an extended outlook to talk about some of those areas that are currently affected, and we'll see this activity here in the next, 20 minutes or so. Atoka, it looks like it's going to be headed towards your skies. You'll be on the bottom edge of that thunderstorm cell. Again, tornado indicated, so that spin that we're seeing on the radar, y'all will be on the bottom edge of that around 7:07 a.m. So here in just a couple minutes or so, maybe around 4 minutes. We're also seeing Harrodsburg 7:09. This is your time to go ahead and seek shelter. It looks like that area where we're seeing where the active thunderstorm cell is trending a little closer farther north up towards our friends in Harrodsburg. Both areas seek shelter right now. Interior room, cover your head, low-lying area if you can. It's moving a little bit quickly as it trends into our skies. You're also seeing our friends in the Danville area could see the same cell 7:14 a.m. Now, both of these warnings are set to expire around 7:15, but even when that warning expires doesn't mean we're not concerned about that active warning. I mean, they've just cut off the back edge of that tornado warning, so it's no longer for our friends in parts of Marion and Washington counties. It's only in Mercer and Boyle counties, but we've watched it kind of come on and off all throughout our day today. We saw a couple tornado warnings south of Elizabethtown. It's moved farther north. These small thunderstorm cells, y'all, they really pack a punch as they show up across our region. I'm going to take a step back and show some of those other thunderstorm cells as well, because we're not just talking about this one with the radar indicated rotation. There's some active thunderstorms that haven't necessarily spurred a warning, but are just as intense for our region. If we zoom out and we look over towards our friends Madison County area, kind of just trending into parts of Estill County, we're also seeing some activity for them. That thunderstorm cell that's showing up over Madison County area did spur a special weather statement, basically indicating, hey, it's got 40-mile-an-hour winds, a little bit of pea-sized hail showing up with that system. Another thing we want to make sure we focus on for our region. Again, this tornado warning is still active right now. 7:15 a.m. Boyle and Mercer counties. You can see it's just getting up close of just trending into parts of Estill County. We're also seeing some activity for them. That thunderstorm cell that's showing up over Madison County area did spur a special weather statement, basically indicating, hey, it's got 40-mile-an-hour winds, a little bit of pea-sized hail showing up with that system. Another thing we want to make sure we focus on for our region. Again, this tornado warning still active right now. 7:15 a.m. Boyle and Mercer counties. You can see it's just getting up close towards parts of Garrett County. Losing a lot of steam, but we've seen us lose steam before. So as it's trending into our skies, y'all, we just want to make sure we're taking things slow, being extra precautious for our region. If you are in any of the areas that are currently in this warning box, I'll zoom in now so you can get a better look and see where all of these warnings are currently located. That's where we want to show some concern. Now, Danville metro area, it does look like it's tracking a little farther north than your region. Harrodsburg, that storm cell is moving a little bit closer towards your skies. If I get some look at the wind velocity, the inside of the storm system, it's this mix and match of the red and green that's indicating some rotation for that storm system in our area. That's what spurred the tornado warning. That's what spurred the severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning is still active for our friends in Washington and Marion counties. It's expired the tornado warning. We just got to watch out for this little bit of rotation on our system as it trends towards the Harrodsburg area. So one thing you're going to notice, it's tracking farther north, but that box still extends down towards our friends in Danville. So make sure you're taking things extra slow. If you are anywhere west of the Harrodsburg area, this is your time to go ahead and seek shelter. Again, it's radar indicated, so no one's seen a funnel cloud, but that doesn't make it any less serious. We want to take things seriously. So go to an interior room, go to a low-lying area. I know a lot of folks in Mercer County don't have basements, especially because of flooding concerns. I'm talking to some of my friends out in the Bergen area. This is your time to find the room closest to the interior of your house, far away from windows, just in case this system moves through and causes some busting out of windows. Now, this is radar indicated rotation, like I said, so it's indicated on the radar. The green and the red right next to each other means wind is going in one way and out the other way. That's what we're talking about for that rotation as it pushes through our region. It's slowly but surely starting to head towards the Harrodsburg region. It's just on the edge of that severe thunderstorm warning, but that tornado warning again lasting until 7:15 a.m. I'm going to zoom in even farther to tell some of our friends to make sure they seek shelter if they are in these areas. This is the time, y'all, to make sure you're taking this very seriously for our skies. Let's zoom in and talk again about some of these areas that are in direct line of that storm. Again, our Danville metro area is still in that tornado warning box. Atoka, you are too. Can't hurt. Always safe than sorry to seek shelter. It just moved north of Dixville. We're mainly looking at this thunderstorm cell that you guys can kind of see in the Harrodsburg area. So if you are south of Harrodsburg, west of Harrodsburg, that's where we're seeing that radar indicated rotation with this thunderstorm cell. Mainly, folks, I'm guessing along Harrodsburg Road 68. This is a great use of your time to say, let me pull to the side of the road. I know I'm on the morning commute. No one wants to drive in heavy rain. No one wants to drive in strong winds. This is dangerous driving conditions. You have that tornado warning. You have the severe thunderstorm warning. I'm sure your boss will understand if you're a little bit late to work, especially with both of these warnings active. Pull to the side of the road if you can. Seek shelter in a building. This is the whole reason we're seeing that tornado warning issued and that box lasting all the way out towards our friends in Bergen. Not quite in the Bergen area yet. This system's tracking a little bit farther north of the Harrodsburg metro area. That's where we're, again, focused in on this tornado warning for our region. Now, there's a little bit of activity that we're still seeing from thunder and lightning from this storm system as it moves through our skies. Folks, this is a very unique case because we didn't initially have severe concern in this area, actually. If we zoom out, there was no severe weather outlook for this region at all in any capacity. It's been popping up with these strong thunderstorm cells that we're seeing across the board. I'm going to go ahead and press play on our radar. I got to touch on the other area where there's a strong thunderstorm cell slowly pushing into our skies. Again, that tornado warning is over in Mercer and Boyle counties. It's just stretching and touching the Danville metro area south of the Harrodsburg area. Folks, if you are along the Mercer and Boyle County lines, now's the time to seek shelter because there is that tornado warning that's active. Radar indicated rotation doesn't mean it's not packing a punch. We are certainly seeing some strong winds, even some hail associated with that system. The other one I want to talk about, if you are in Madison or Estill counties, really kind of stretching from Berea towards our friends in Irvin, this thunderstorm cell has spurred a special weather statement, which is a step below a severe thunderstorm warning, folks. Basically doesn't have all the proper technical terms to allow a warning to be issued, but it's still causing some concern for folks at the National Weather Service office. So this area is where we're talking about that thunderstorm that's rumbling through. If you can, pull to the side of the road. We don't want anyone driving in heavy rain. You've got hydroplaning. You could lose control of your vehicle with strong winds. It's not the morning to be risking anything. Again, all of this heavy rain is rotating through our skies, been causing a lot of problems for our region. We'll zoom back in on that tornado warning. It has been going on here, gosh, since about 6:50 in our region. Let's focus back in on that area. It's going to last until 7:15. Now, the back edge of that tornado warning has expired, so it is now strictly in Mercer and Boyle County areas. That severe thunderstorm warning is still active. I think they might try to expire that soon. We're really focused on the Mercer-Boyle County line. I'm not sure why they've not shifted it a little farther north. I know they got a lot on their plate right now. Again, there was no active severe threat when we were going into today. The main concern, of course, was heavy rain, but these thunderstorm cells, it doesn't take much for us to cause a little bit of concern. Obviously, heavy rain still can be damaging, still can cause some problems no matter where you're at. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, folks, and we're going to talk a little bit more about just areas outside of this tornado warning for our region, which I know sounds a little unconventional for our skies, but we really got to focus in on this thunderstorm cell right around the Harrodsburg area. Folks, I know not all of Harrodsburg is in this area, but that's where we're kind of starting to see that radar indicated rotation showing up just on the edge of that tornado warning. Again, lasting till 7:15. It does stretch farther south towards our friends in the Danville metro area. Make sure you're seeking shelter. If you are anywhere Mercer County, Boyle County line, stretching from Danville all the way up towards our friends in Harrodsburg, especially Harrodsburg Road if you're headed a little bit farther south along 68 or Harrodsburg Road, whichever one you prefer. This is the time to pull to the side of the road. Don't brave the storm. Your boss is going to understand. A lot of people are having issues getting to work this morning. This is an active tornado warning, so you have a reason to seek shelter. This radar indicated rotation is the whole reason we saw this tornado warning issued, but this is still a strong thunderstorm cell. It's set to expire here at 7:15, so it's about 3 more minutes, but still it's a pretty active cell. Low end concern for tornado. It's just got that rotation with that system, but we're talking about 40-mile-an-hour winds, pea-sized hail. Go ahead, seek shelter. Again, Harrodsburg metro area, a little farther south for our friends in that region. That's where we really want you guys to focus on, including in Danville. I know that they're kind of on the edge of this warning box for that tornado warning. It's better safe than sorry, especially in light of all that we've seen in the past week for our friends in Russell, Pulaski, and Laurel counties. That's why you want to make sure you're seeking shelter now. We want to make sure everyone's staying safe. A lot of folks in Mercer County don't have basements. I know there's flooding issues. There's basically your topography isn't really focused on having a basement because everything all kind of pools into your region. I'm thinking of my friends in Bergen area. So if you don't have a basement, but you need to seek shelter, find something to protect your head. That could be a bike helmet, a football helmet, whatever you can for a helmet. Go ahead and grab that. You can even grab maybe a couch cushion. Go to an interior room, like an interior bathroom. Get in that bathtub as far away from windows as you can. That's your best bet to make sure you're staying safe in this active system as it rolls through. Again, that tornado warning is supposed to expire here within the next 2 minutes or so. We've been tracking it all throughout western Kentucky. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going to happen after that tornado warning is set to expire. Again, it's not going to last for much longer. We've got about 2 more minutes on this warning for our region. But if I zoom out, what we're noticing is these strong thunderstorms rumbling throughout the rest of our skies. Folks, there's a little bit of radar indicated rotation with this thunderstorm cell, which is the whole reason we've got that tornado warning in our area. Now, Danville is included in that tornado warning. Boyle, Mercer County line, Perryville, y'all are still in that active warning. So just stay in your spot for right now until we get this expired. Again, it's set to expire here in the next minute or so. If I'm going to track where it's set to go next, I'm going to go a little bit different from where that warning box is going. This thunderstorm cell seems to be moving up towards Jessamine County. So even when this is set to expire, doesn't mean that that thunderstorm all of a sudden doesn't exist. It's going to lose that severe component here within the next couple minutes or so. There's still some of that radar indicated rotation. That's why those warnings are active. So if you're in anywhere really Wilmore area, Jessamine County, kind of this area where we're talking about parts of like Camp Nelson region, Nicholas, Jessamine County, Nicholasville area, that's where we're really focused in on maybe seeing that thunderstorm cell head next. Anywhere between Harrodsburg and Wilmore. That's a tricky road to drive on in general for your region. Go ahead, pull to the side of the road for you in that area. Guys, that tornado warning has officially expired. I'm going to zoom back out so we can get one last look at the full radar and kind of understand where we're at. We'll take one last look in at where that rotation is. Looks like we've slowly lost it. It's gone a little bit away. Of course, if another tornado warning spurs, we're going to be with you here at WKYT tracking this storm system. Just keep your eye out for that cell again. Jessamine County area, y'all, that same thunderstorm cell that was spurred those warnings are headed into your skies. We've got some active thunderstorms that were causing some concern and some hail in Estill County. Take things slow this morning. Lots of heavy rain throughout the region. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. So again, you can remove yourself from your sheltered places, but still try to keep things slow. Don't go on those roadways. We still got more heavy rain and thunderstorms throughout the rest of our forecast. So stay safe, folks. We'll keep our eye on all these thunderstorms. One storm cell that they've been focused on that's been spurring those tornado warnings has been tracking a little bit farther up towards parts of the northeast. It was originally issued along the Mercer-Boyle County line, but it looks to go a little closer towards our friends in Harrodsburg. Now it's looking like it's going to go a little closer towards our friends in Nicholasville. But if you're in the warning box, stay safe, folks. Find the interior room in the basement. I mean, Chris, a lot of these people all along the Kentucky River, which is right along where we're at, folks don't have basements here because of flooding concerns. So I was saying interior room as this system moves right on through, right?
Yeah, right. You've heard us time and time again talk about how it is about putting as many walls between where you are and the outside as you possibly can get. So the center part of your home, the lowest floor, the higher up you go, the winds are stronger. So the idea is to get to the lowest point of your home here into Jessamine County and put as many walls between where you are and the outside. And as we say time and time again, it's all about covering our head. We want to put on if you got a bicycle helmet, you got a hard hat, you got a baseball helmet, a football helmet, anything that you can use to cover the old noggin, because you know what? When we get a lot of debris that may be flying around, if this is indeed producing a tornado, then that's how most injuries occur, is debris hitting us in the head. So listen, kids, we want to listen to mom and dad right now, or big brother, big sister, what have you. We want to do exactly what they're telling us to do. We're going to do what we practiced just a few weeks ago in school back in March when we had Tornado Safety Week. Remember the drill you guys went through? That's what we're going to be doing. We're just going to do it at home right now, okay? And this storm, with the spin with this, between Wilmore and Nicholasville, and that is rolling its way to the east and to the northeast. So folks around Wilmore right now taking the brunt of this, whether it is producing a tornado or not. This has not been a confirmed tornado. It's not been a confirmed funnel cloud, nothing like that. We're seeing the potential, just based on the radar here, that this may be producing a tornado. This is tracking on the northern side of this particular polygon for a tornado warning. So next stop, Nicholasville, in just a couple of minutes, you're going to get the worst of the weather that makes its way right across 27 right into Nicholasville, and they have not extended this tornado warning to the east, which is good. That means that nothing definitive on from their end has been made as of yet. So we see this heading toward Nicholasville and eventually the Union Mills area coming up between 7:41 and 7:45. Where we at? We're at 7:38 right now. So that is going to continue to make its way directly toward Nicholasville and across Jessamine County. This would take it to the Fayette County line coming up here in about 10-15 minutes or so, give or take just a little bit. Here's hoping that it weakens. The good thing about this is that we're not dealing with a supercell thunderstorm like what we had a couple weeks ago that produced that devastating and deadly tornado into Pulaski County, into Laurel County and London. What you're seeing here is a spin that is associated with this. It is embedded within a huge complex of showers and thunderstorms. The atmosphere out ahead of this we've had a lot of rain now. It is not terribly conducive to a tornado spinning up. Now, it doesn't have to be a massive EF3 or 4 tornado to cause some damage, obviously, and it can be a quick hitter. So that's what we're on guard for now. Hopefully, we get new word from the National Weather Service shortly. We can allow that particular tornado warning to go ahead and expire. But out ahead of this, it is heavy rain to beat the proverbial band. It is coming down. We're going to continue to watch southeastern Kentucky. You've got just a little better instability in some of these areas east of London and Somerset now, where we got into far southeastern Kentucky. You get down toward the Hal Rogers Parkway, south of the Mountain Parkway. That's where we got a little greater instability. But that radar is continuing to pick up on this possible tornado here into Jessamine County. It's a radar issued tornado warning. It is not a true confirmed tornado. That's certainly great news. And Alexa, we hope that radar confirmed tornado does not turn into a observed tornado by the public.
Yeah, we were talking a lot about that rotation with the system, especially once we look into parts of this storm cell. What we've been seeing a lot this morning, Chris, is it gets expired and then about maybe 5 or so minutes later they go ahead and extend it. Like you said, it's been tightening up and then starting to loosen up a little bit for the area, really getting ready to trend in towards the Nicholasville metro area.
Yeah,
the tornado warning is almost out of, I guess, it's fully out of Mercer County now. And
right here is still that spin that is going on. It's very small, so it's a little smaller than what we were dealing with a bit ago. But if we are getting a weak tornado out of this, it would be just to the southwest of Nicholasville here into Jessamine County. But that tornado warning polygon keeps getting whittled away. So if you're watching us now into Mercer County, northern Garrett County, it's the all clear. You guys are good, okay? The only folks that are still under this tornado warning would include areas between Wilmore and Nicholasville. And again, this is riding on the northern extent of this particular tornado warning. So just on the west side of Nicholasville. If we are getting a tornado, it is going to be right in here. So this is the Fayette County line with Jessamine County. So folks across southern Fayette County, you know what? We're going to keep a really close eye on this storm to see if we get that spin that continues to show up. Now, at some point, while we are getting some rotation showing up on the radar, if this thing, and we hope this is the case, if it doesn't produce damage or tornadoes or funnel clouds that have been spotted, at what point do we keep issuing a tornado warning for this? Because there's obviously, Alexa, if it's not doing something by now, there's a missing ingredient or two in there to actually get this thing to produce a tornado. Just because we see rotation on a radar doesn't necessarily mean that's extending something down to the ground. Yeah,
we actually just got a message from one of our folks back in the newsroom saying that someone called in from Bergen saying they saw some rotation with their own eyes in the Bergen area. It's getting ready to move towards Nicholasville, but there's also some activity happening. We've seen a lot of special weather statements all throughout our day today, especially once we look down towards Pulaski, Laurel County, Rockcastle County area for our region. That rotation that Chris was just talking about, it's getting ready to go into the Nicholasville area. That's why we want folks to go ahead and seek shelter. It's been all morning, started south of Elizabethtown, and like Chris mentioned, it's moving north in that warning box for the tornado. So this tornado warning is set to last until 7:45. We've got it going a little bit longer for our morning. It's been expiring and then being reactivated all throughout our day. Again, that tiny cell moving now into the Nicholasville area. Now's the time to seek shelter. Chris was telling you all about it earlier this morning. Make sure you guys are going to go ahead, find a safe space, interior, low-lying room, protect your head. Like we both have been talking about, it's radar indicated. We've got someone calling in from Bergen saying they saw a little bit of rotation in the skies, folks. Just because it's radar indicated doesn't mean we don't need to be concerned about the system, right?
And now we look at the latest scan that goes through here. That's pretty broad in terms of the circulation. Yeah, there's still some spin there. It's just not as tight as what we were dealing with just a few minutes ago. And certainly when this warning was first issued, when that storm was back into parts of Mercer County. So that rotation with this has broadened out just a little bit. So I'm curious, we'll be curious to see if they let this tornado warning expire. I suspect looking at the latest sweep here, that may indeed be the case, as opposed to expanding that farther to the northeast. So we may allow this one to expire, by we, the weather community and the National Weather Service. But you see that fairly broad rotation that is continuing to show up right on top of 27. That's going to cross its way. It is crossing its way across Nicholasville. So Nicholasville, whatever the worst of this that we're going to get is on top of us as of right now. So that tornado warning polygon extends just to the east toward Union Mills. Doesn't quite get into Union Mills. So fingers crossed that is this 7:45
It was originally
time?
7:45 right now. What we've seen with this same storm cell all morning long is it's expired.
Yeah,
then we've seen some things tighten up, and then about
longer,
5 minutes later we see another one pop back up.
Yeah,
you know?
so we're watching. That's the only game in town, by the way. That is literally it. This storm is the only storm that has produced a warning with this, and that warning is set to expire momentarily. And just the pure radar look of this, the radar presentation on this isn't even as stout as what we were dealing with a little bit ago. So again, whatever's left of this is going to head toward northeastern parts of Jessamine County, southern sections of Fayette County, Jacobson Park area. That would be Richmond Road down toward Athens, Boonesboro, and across the Clays Ferry area. Now we've hit 7:45, and our tornado warning has expired. So, and I believe if we zoom this out, expand this out just a little bit, still got that little bit of spin with it, but again, nothing has been reported with this in terms of tornado. So let's expand this out, make sure we don't have any other warnings anywhere across our region. And it appears to be the case that the tornado warning has expired here into Jessamine County. So folks in Jessamine County, your warning has expired. Listen, we're gonna be right here for you. We get more warnings, we get new information. We're going to break in and let you guys know. I think we're also live on the CW Lexington.
Yeah, we'll be on
right
the CW for the next hour and so.
Yeah, so join us, join Alexa over there, and I'll be back here as well, just in case.